Okay, I came to vlog in my car because it was so loud. So normally with our addition, it's like no one has to come in our house. It's adding onto the side of our house, so that's like the construction site, and we don't have to, be in the same room as people, which is really great with COVID. Today they're working on our bathroom inside because the bathroom above our house is like connected plumbing wise. So everyone's being safe and wearing masks. There's only one guy coming in, but it's just one of those things where like people are in your home and it's weird, especially after having so many months of not having people in your home. So, and it's really loud. So I just figured I would vlog in my car. I don't know if this is going to be any better though, because it's raining. So apologies if the audio is terrible. And this may be more of a chatty vlog, but yeah, so I'm really like struggling to prioritize what I want to do this week because it's the week before Christmas week. My husband has off next week and the week after that. So I'm really thankful that we'll have a big break. And I really want to take a break and actually take a vacation, which is hard for me. And I'm sure if you're a freelancer, you understand this struggle of like turning off your work brain, because it's not like I get PTO. It's not like, I don't know. Sometimes I forget to like tell my ongoing clients that I'm not going to be working over the holidays, and then I get backed in a corner and it's this whole thing. But this year I want to sufficiently plan to take a break at the end of the year and spend time with Aaron and Tilly. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make that happen. This is so awkward because I'm trying to vlog and the guy who is working on our house just came out to get something out of his truck, and it's like right there. The struggle. So to wrap up the end of the year, I have my work that I'm actually getting paid for besides like the business development planning stuff. So I have a few articles that I need to edit, which I think I talked about in my last vlog, kind of in the healthcare space. And those are pretty predictable for me at the moment. So I can kind of plan for that. And then I have 2 editing samples to complete, which shouldn't take me that long. I haven't actually looked to see, what it's going to be like, but I have 2 of those that I would like to wrap up before the end of the year. And then I have some editor coaching calls planned. Actually, it's more like technical editing training, with one of my clients that I work with. I'm training one of the writers on their team to become an editor. So it's not really like editor coaching like she has a freelance editing business. It's more like teaching her editing skills, like one-on-one training sessions that we're going to be doing. So, and actually she's a good friend of mine, and so that's going to be really fun. I'm already nerding out about it, but I need to create like a curriculum for that, that time, and kind of map out what we're going to actually cover in those conversations. And that's probably going to be an ongoing thing past the end of the year. We'll see. But yeah, speaking of editor coaching and writing coaching, I will be hopefully, it all kind of depends on COVID and our childcare situation, but hopefully in 2021, I will be opening the doors more for that kind of thing. I really am excited about the possibility of expanding my coaching services. I've had so many conversations one-on-one with editors over the years, and I've helped them establish their editorial freelance businesses. And I take so much satisfaction out of that. Obviously I do, because I created a freelance editing 101 e-course for freelancers. But yeah, I just really enjoy that one-on-one conversation and helping people reach their editing goals. It's just immensely satisfying for me. So I'm excited to offer that service in 2021 more. I kind of already have done it, but I'm excited to expand on it in the new year. Sorry for the dinging. So I have my editing coaching calls, I have my editing articles, I have my editing samples that I need to do this week. And then I also kind of just want to spend some time planning for 2021. I haven't really been able to do that sufficiently. And usually this time of year, I already have my goals mapped out for the next year because I am a goal-oriented person for sure. But with COVID and so much in the air, with our childcare situation, I just don't know how much I can plan at this point for at least the next 6 months or so. So, kind of have to hold those goals loosely. But I do want to spend some time thinking about my courses because I have some other course ideas that I want to create in the new year. And not just for editors, but also for writers. Like I said about my coaching service, I want to map that out a little bit, create some contracts that are a little bit more official than what I have been using for that. And I also want to brainstorm some ideas for editor groups. A lot of you have reached out to me, especially those of you who have taken my editing e-course, have reached out to me about creating like a network of editors and how we can all communicate together so that students can talk to each other and we can kind of create a little community that is encouraging and, you know, a place where we can offer advice and ask questions and that sort of thing. So I will be working on that in 2021. I just don't know what platform that will be on or what that will look like. I have a lot of content to plan, so I definitely have a content calendar that is mapped out months in advance. The problem is I don't always stick with it, which is like not a very unique issue. I use Notion, which is a productivity and note-taking app. I am actually so into this app. Like I just nerd out about it. In my free time, I love to build Notion templates and organize my life on Notion. It's not just my work stuff. I have grocery and meal planning pages in Notion and stuff like that. So it's amazing. If you have not heard of it, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have a partnership with them or anything. I would love to, but yeah, I just think they're amazing. So definitely look them up if you haven't heard of them and you're like a productivity nerd like me, and a note-taking nerd. So I have a content calendar in Notion that I love. And I'm just a little bit behind on some blog posts that I want to create. I'm a little bit behind on I want to write some scripts for YouTube videos, for editor talk videos. Just a lot of kind of stuff like that I need to sit down and actually commit to creating so that it's not last minute and I'm creating it the day that it needs to go up. That was probably really long and rambly, but we've got the editing samples, editing articles, coaching calls, curriculum building, planning my goals for 2021, and so like course creation and expanding on my services and what that looks like, how I can streamline that, how I can make it more efficient for my life right now, and then content creation. It's fine. That sounds like a lot when I really say it out loud, and this is helpful for me to communicate this with you guys because it helps me to actually prioritize what's important. I think the biggest thing for me right now with my editorial business, aside from my editing projects, I have to figure out what fits into my life in this season of life. I love editing books more than anything. It's my passion. I can't see myself doing anything differently. Like I just genuinely find so much joy in editing books. But there are other sources of income that I want to pursue and expand on so that I can have a little bit more passive income. And just like have work that feels a little bit more conducive to my lifestyle right now as a mom of a toddler. So part of that is going to be my course creation, because, by no means is course creation passive. Like you have to actually create the course, which takes a really long time, create the supplemental material, the homework, whatever, set it up and all of that. But if you have a course like mine, which is completely self-led, it can be passive. Once it's created, people purchase the course and I don't have to do anything on my end to keep up with it except for, respond to emails and things like that. So I really want to create more like bundled self-led courses in the new year. So yeah, I'm just spending a lot of time dreaming and thinking things up in my head about what would work for my business. So hopefully that's interesting to you. I mean, I always like to see behind the curtain a little bit in other people's businesses. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be tackling today. And I'm sure I won't get to all of it. This is the thing about my to-do list these days, is like I have a long list and it just keeps getting longer the more that I cross things off. So I'm going to break things down into smaller bite-sized pieces and see like what I can feasibly do this week. Because the reality is I'm probably going to be doing some goal setting on vacation. I just think it's going to be inevitable, but I would like to not do that. So we shall see. Hello. It's been a minute. We're actually on the second nap right now, second stretch. It was a little chaotic after Tilly woke up, so I didn't have a chance to vlog. But I did write one blog post, but I'm thinking about turning it into a YouTube video. Not sure yet, but I did write it. So I got a little check off of my content creation to-do list. Let's see, what else did I do? I did an editing sample during her first nap, and I did some email admin stuff that I've been needing to do for a while now. So while Tilly is sleeping, I'm hoping to knock out the other editing sample. Not totally sure if that's gonna happen because, like I said, funky naps. But I thought I would take a second to share some book mail / do a little book haul. Random House very kindly sent me a few books, one of which is Educated, and I am so excited. I've been wanting to read this book just forever. It's been on my list for a long time, pretty much since it came out. And I've only ever heard amazing things about it. It's a memoir. I've heard that it has the Glass Castle vibes a little bit, but perhaps more like clinical. That's what one person told me. So thank you so much to Random House for sending me that book. I also got A Promised Land from Random House. This is a chunker, you guys. It's really heavy. I never read his first one. Maybe I should put that on my list. If you've read it, let me know. But yeah, really excited to get this one. I actually got this book for a few people in my life for Christmas, and I think they're gonna love it. So yeah, good holiday book recommendation, I think. Now, the lovely Katie from Life Between Words, who is my bosom friend, got me A Gentleman in Moscow. I know you've all heard of it. I know you're all obsessed with it, and I'm very late to the party. But when Katie pushes a book on me, I read it. And when I read it, I love it every single time. Peace Like a River, Anne of Green Gables. I'm sure I'm not the only one. The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Gosh, I feel like a lot of my favorite books of all time are because of Katie, who is a book pusher, and I will have it no other way. So those are my 3 books. And then I received this cookbook from Random House, Dessert Person by Claire Saffitz. I don't know if I ever say her name right, but she was previously a part of the Bon Appetit team, and has since gone out on her own and wrote this cookbook. And I think she has a YouTube channel. But my husband is obsessed with Claire, as are so many people in my life. And so I had to get this for him through Random House. So it's pretty impressive. Like, okay, let's see if I can do this. The actual recipes, first of all, look amazing, but they also have things in the table of contents, like a recipe matrix. You probably can't really see this, but basically like a matrix of like how long each recipe takes and the difficulty level. And like my Enneagram 5 husband just totally nerded out on this. So yeah, I feel like this is it's a good Christmas gift for him that I didn't wrap, and I gave it to him early. So those are the books that I wanted to share with you guys. I would love nothing more than to sit down and read one of them right now, but I have work to do. So I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, it's 3:30. I've been working nonstop. Tilly just woke up. Kind of bummed because she only woke up because somebody just knocked on the door and Zoe barked. Does that happen to you guys? Drives me crazy. But anyway, I did get a lot of good work done. I decided not to do my editing sample and have started my editor curriculum for my coaching calls because I think that the first one's tomorrow. Got to double check on that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of put together a guide for our discussion. And there's a lot to cover because it's like an editor skills training call. So we're probably not going to cover everything in the first call, but that's what I was doing while Tilly was napping. Yeah, I think that's it for the work today. I have some things that I need to do around the house because during lunchtime today, I didn't get to do a lot because I decided to meal prep a little bit while Aaron was with Tilly. So I just made some like ground turkey, cauliflower rice, veggie stir fry type thing for my lunches this week. I feel like it's really going to help me not, eat junk during the day. But yeah, so because I was doing that during lunch, I wasn't really expecting to be in the kitchen that much. So I have some other things to focus on, like laundry and getting those packages together that I mentioned earlier, and Christmas cards and Christmas gift wrapping and things like that. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing this evening and in my free time with Tilly Girl. Yeah, I guess I'll check in with you guys tomorrow unless I decide to do some more work today. So this is pretty much where I've been sitting for most of Tilly's nap. Just been writing some notes and using I have this binder full of like storytelling technique flyers and notes from my editing classes. I have proofreading and copy editing. I basically just break it up from storytelling technique flyers, education, proofreads, what else? Copy edit, manuscript evaluations, editorial letters, marketing, and some client information. So yeah, I've just been going through my courses and all the notes I've taken over the years, and helpful things to remember as an editor or a proofreader, like this one: an orphan is alone from the beginning, a widow is alone at the end. Just some helpful little things as a proofreader that you need to know. And and I've just been taking some notes for my training. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday morning. I am just now sitting down at my desk, ready to tackle some work. I have some more curriculum building to do for my coaching call, just a little bit. And I also want to do some research on how to create Google ads or Instagram ads today. I want to, that's been on my list before the end of the year, is to create some ads specifically promoting my e-course, Freelance Editing 101 e-course. So I think I'm going to try to do some research on that if I have time. Tilly hasn't fallen asleep yet, and we don't know if she will. I do have a call today for the editor coaching training session, and that will be during Tilly's second nap. So I don't know how much work I'm going to get done beyond that. We'll just have to wait and see. I think tonight is going to be a night where I have to do some work in the evening a little bit because I didn't get to my desk before 7 today. Okay, I'm going to get some work done and I will check in with you guys later. 10:45. Tilly has been up for a little while. I got a little bit done, but I also had to go outside and check on some things with the construction crew, so I didn't get to researching Google Ads. But I did finish up the editor curriculum, and I addressed some emails that popped up while I was working. I'm so bad at saving email for like specific designated times of the day. I don't know what it is, but now that I like finally cleared out my emails, the whole inbox zero thing is like really important to me. So I like to clear out an email when I see it. I also shared in my stories that I was going to be vlogging today and asked for any questions that people have. I figured that might be a fun thing to do if you guys have questions for a little Q&A. And I've got a couple good ones. I'm going to save them for later in the vlog. But for now, I'm going to go get my baby and give her a snack. I would also just like to show you guys, I think I've shown you guys my Chicago Manual of Style, the physical copy before. But as you can see, it is well loved with lots of tabs, which is so helpful when I'm trying to train an editor on like areas that she needs to research and grow in. Yeah, I love it. It's so colorful. It brightens my day, and it's so nerdy, but I just love it so much. And also I just want to share like how small my desk is. This is pretty much an everyday thing, is having things pretty much falling off my desk while I'm working. It was so hard to get myself out of bed this morning, hence the wet hair at 9:30 a.m. But I'm here and I'm ready to dive into some work. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update since yesterday. I did end up having that coaching call and it went really well. It just really confirmed for me that this is a service that I want to expand in the new year and really dedicate some time to, because coaching people in their editing skills to develop their editing skills is so rewarding and satisfying. Like, it brings out this whole new nerdiness to me, but I just really enjoyed it so much. I feel like it just gave me life. Like, when I got off that call, I just felt energized. Also, yesterday confirmed a book coaching project that's going to be happening in the new year. So I'm going to be coaching an author who's actually already written her book, but we're going to start with a manuscript evaluation and then move on from there in terms of like creating a revision roadmap and figuring out what needs to happen from start to finish with her book. I'm really excited about this because coaching is something that I've done for editors. I'm excited to grow my coaching business with writers too, and helping to develop writers. It seems like this is going to be another really rewarding service in the new year if I can create the time for it to help writers. I don't know, it just feels more collaborative in some ways, and I think that ongoing relationship with authors is going to be really satisfying too. Because right now, as a freelance editor, it can feel very transactional. It's not like that with every author, but a lot of the time, you're hired for a specialized service, for a specific stage in the publishing process. And then when you turn that project in, sometimes you don't hear from authors again, or sometimes you think a manuscript is in really great shape and you've helped clean it up, you've helped create the best potential, I guess, for that manuscript, and then the author doesn't really take it anywhere, which can be frustrating. And that's definitely the downside to working with indie authors. instead of working with authors through a publisher, because a publisher has a timeline that the author has to stick to. So yeah, that transactional nature, sometimes it's nice because you move from one project to the next, one author to the next. You don't have to really commit to an ongoing relationship if you don't want to be honest. But it is really nice if you have a good, solid relationship with an author to continue on that journey with them. So I'm excited about my writing book coaching services in the new year. I'm excited about my editor coaching services in the new year. It feels like my business is growing in new ways, and it's going to be a challenge because the childcare situation is tough right now. I can't really plan too far in advance too, so it's going to be interesting to see where this all goes. So anyway, that was my call yesterday. It was from like 1:30 to 3:45, I think. So somehow Tilly had a long nap and it was great. But yeah, and then yesterday evening I just kind of worked on house things and, watched The Bachelorette while I did laundry and drank wine in my jammies, because that's what you got to do on a Tuesday night. Okay, so for this morning, I have 2 articles to edit during Tilly's nap. I have that editing sample that I want to get to. Oh, and I need to create a proposal for an editing project and kind of create a work proposal, which will then turn into a work agreement or a contract for the new year. So I'm trying to set things up now so that I can take some time during Christmas. I am really bummed because I haven't gotten a chance to research the Google ads, Instagram ads for my e-course thing yet. And I think that's probably going to end up being something I have to do over the Christmas vacation. But I don't know. We'll see what I can fit in. Hello. Hi. It's Thursday evening. I've dropped the ball on vlogging, but we're just going to carry on. I think the last update I had was Wednesday morning, maybe. I basically just worked on editing projects all of Wednesday during Tilly's naps. And then in the evening, what did I do? I edited a video, worked on that for a little bit. And I also made some time to read, which honestly, it's been so long since I've just actually picked up a physical book. I'm going to get into this in future videos, but audiobooks have been my jam lately because I can do so many things while I listen. But it's just so nice to pick up a physical book. It feels like such a luxury these days, especially in the evening, to just put aside all other things and read a book. So that's what I did yesterday. Today, I ended up getting some editing work sent to me that needs a quick turnaround. I was hoping to wrap it up in the new year, but it needed to be taken care of. So pretty much everything else on my list for this week has been kind of pushed aside to get these edits done. So anyway, yes, I edited articles on Wednesday, edited articles today. Will most likely be editing articles tomorrow. I also worked a little bit on video editing today. So, I feel like a lot of the business development stuff got pushed aside that I wanted to do this week, but that's kind of how it works out sometimes, especially when I'm really ambitious at the start of the week and I'm trying to wrap up things so that I can go on vacation. It usually doesn't wrap up nicely, if I'm being honest. So in about 30 minutes, I am joining a Zoom Christmas party call with some friends of mine. We do a Christmas party every year in person. So obviously this year is a little bit different. It's gonna be kind of sad, but I'm really excited to see their faces, even if just on a screen. So we're gonna do cocktails and chat, maybe play some games. I'm not sure what we're gonna end up feeling like doing, but it'll be a good time. So I realized that I said I was going to answer some questions in this vlog. I don't have a ton of time to do that, but I am gonna do these like rapid fire, just a few questions that I've gotten in the past few days. So I'm just gonna read them off. What books have you been loving while you've been on a break from BookTube? This is such a good question. I want to do a whole video on this. So I'll just mention a few things. Okay, a few books on my shelves right now that I've been loving since BookTube. The whole Nevermore series. I'm about to read the third one. It's so good, you guys. It's just like the best cozy middle grade fantasy series you can pick up. Honestly, it's amazing. I think it's Jessica Townsend who wrote that series. Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane was a favorite. What else do we have? The Most Fun We Ever Had. Loved it. I loved Echo, which was another book that Katie got me to read from Life Between Words. Becoming by Michelle Obama, obviously. Oh, and I'm looking at my audiobooks. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So amazing. I think I already talked about that. I really enjoyed All Adults Here by Emma Straub. Not really sure how to say her last name. This Tender Land by William Kent Kruger was so good, you guys. I know I talked about it in my last vlog, but you just need to pick it up if you haven't read it. It's incredible. Like I said, I'm going to do a whole video on this. Are you going to continue with the podcast? I got this question a few times. It makes my heart so happy that you guys love the podcast. Katie and I mean, it's just like one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And talking to Katie regularly like that was just the greatest thing in the world. And I'd love to do it again. Can't speak for Katie. I think we're on the same page about it. But I think life is just really full right now. Like, I don't know if we could get back on a good schedule. I go to bed at like 9:30, which is like 8:30 her time. So, and we would normally film in the evenings when her kids are down, and now my kid, because when I started, I didn't have a kid. So it would just be a lot of juggling to kind of figure it out. But I hope to one day revive the podcast because I love it so much. Never say never. No current plans as of right now, but that could always change. How do you edit your Bookstagram photos? This question surprised me. I got it a few times too. This one surprised me because I don't feel like I edit my photos very well, but I use Fosco. I don't know. I don't have a fancy system. I have been posting photos though. A lot of the photos I've been posting are photos that were taken of me by my neighbor who's a photographer. For like when I launched the e-course, I decided to finally get some photography done professionally, like social media, content marketing type photography. So maybe you're seeing that and thinking I'm like an amazing photographer, but I'm not. I truly am not. What inspires your captions and your blog posts? I love this question because again, I don't feel like my captions are all over the place. Truly, I usually write my captions in the present, like whatever's on my mind, kind of like a mind dump. Wouldn't recommend, but that's what I do. So what inspires me is just what's going on in my current life, the things that I'm thinking about constantly, the things that I'm dreaming about, or just seeing conversations that I'm having in my everyday real life. Things like that. Okay, here's another one. I would like to know how to be kinder to myself when work doesn't go as expected or if I am being too hard on myself. Any readings, any recs? This is so hard, and it's something that I think every freelancer is going to struggle with in some capacity. Every business owner is going to struggle with in some capacity. Yeah, it's tough. I think the main thing that I try to focus on when I'm feeling this way is, would I be this harsh or critical with someone else who was having the same issue coming to me, or would I offer that person grace and kindness in their situation? Because the reality is, usually you have much more compassion and understanding for someone else going through something than yourself, or at least that's how I feel a lot of the time. I'm my biggest critic, and it's just really easy to have these like standards that have to be met for yourself. And the reality is, you know, things happen. You're not perfect. And I think the biggest thing is to let go of perfection and trying not to grasp onto that too tightly when it does come, because it is going to come up. It's really hard to know how to not be hard on yourself, if that makes any sense. Especially when it comes to work and clients who are paying you for your expertise. So I empathize with you. I think it comes with practice, like learning what that voice is in your head that you're listening to, that negativity, and trying to name it and name it for what it is, which is just wrong. I think my biggest reading recommendation for this type of feeling that is so common is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. You guys have heard me talk about Brené Brown before. I just think it's a remarkable book, especially when talking about failure and shortcomings that we all have, and how to rise above it. Someone said, I'm a writer and I'm interested in becoming an editor, but I don't know if I would be a good editor. Do you have any advice for me? I think it's natural for writers to move into an editorial role a lot of the time. I think the biggest thing is, are you observant, or can you train yourself to be observant? Do you look at the details? Are you interested in the details? Because writing is very creative, and editing is creative as well, especially depending on the type of editing you are interested in, but it's definitely a different beast. I don't know. So I would say if you can be meticulous and consistent and detail oriented, then you're probably going to do just fine as an editor, because you will train yourself to look for those small things. Someone else said, I'm interested in your course, but I've been freelance editing for a few years now. Am I the right person? I think that just depends on where your editorial business is. I absolutely created this course for aspiring newbie editors, but also I created it for established freelance editors who are interested in growing or expanding their businesses. So if you feel stagnant, if you feel stuck in your editorial business and you want inspiration to grow into new editorial services, or make the current offerings that you have even better, then I think my course will be great for you. Definitely check it out for yourself. I want everyone who signs up for my e-course to know what it's about before purchasing it. So you can check it out at molliereads.teachable.com. And I also have an Instagram highlight at Mollie Reads, where I talk about some FAQs for the course. Okay, I think that's all of the questions I'm going to get to for this vlog. And I need to go get ready and make my cocktail for this party that I'm about to attend virtually. And I think I'm just going to wrap up the vlog here. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to be editing all day. It's not going to be that exciting, to be honest. And this vlog is getting very long, I know. If you've stuck around this long, thank you for watching. I hope that it brought you joy. If you follow any content creators, or if you are a content creator yourself who documents that freelance business life in any capacity, I would love to know about it. I find it really fun to follow along with other people's businesses and inspirational. So hopefully you find this kind of thing fun too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.